Hey, hi guys, Dr. Dan Nightingale here, your clinical dementia specialist. I hope you're having a fantastic day, a great week. I certainly am. Here in northern Arizona, the weather is beautiful. Tomorrow I will be down in the valley, i.e. Phoenix, and it will be like walking into Hades. So today I'm enjoying the weather in northern Arizona, which is probably around about between 90 and 100 degrees or something like that.
Tomorrow it's going to be 107
107 in northern Arizona?
down where your office
Down in the
is.
valley?
Yeah.
Yeah, see. There you go. See what I have to deal with? This heat for a guy from northern England? And I'm still not acclimatized after like 13 years. Okay, so let's get on with what we're going to talk about today. And the subject is recording videos. How often do you spend time with your loved ones, having a conversation, going somewhere, doing something, and then within a very short space of time, they say, why don't you come and visit me? Why don't we go and do something exciting? You never see me, you never call me. This is a regular occurrence. So, here are some strategies, some ideas and some tips for actually enjoying and being able to revisit those experiences, those events, those memories. And the first one that springs to mind, of course, is your phone. Everybody carries a phone with them today. Most people, most phones have got the video on it. So, video the experience. Take some short videos of that individual and you together, just having a conversation, or visiting the zoo, or going out for coffee, or being in the pub, having lunch, whatever it may be, do a bit of a recording of it. Have some snippets. And then tomorrow, when you see that person again, so if it's your dad, when you go and see your dad tomorrow, and if he says, I haven't seen you for ages, I haven't done anything, I haven't been anywhere, and you can say, look at this. Remember when we did this? And it doesn't matter that it was yesterday, but we did this. Look at this. Let's watch it and let's revisit that. And it's a fantastic thing to do because he can see himself with you, enjoying doing whatever you're doing. And all you need to do then is have a conversation about what happened. We saw this and we had this and this is what we had for lunch, and it's a fantastic memory jogger. So that's the first thing to do, is to use your video. The second thing to do is to take some pictures. Straightforward. Take some photos with your camera, with your phone. If you're one of those people that doesn't have a modern day phone, which there are very few, but I know some. Yeah, I know some who still have the old flip phone kind of Motorola thing, but most people can take pictures. So do the same thing. Turn it into a storyboard then. So you get the pictures, you can print them out, you can turn it into a storyboard, and the person has the storyboard. So yesterday, this is where we went, this is what we did, and this is the fun we had. The third thing you can do, and this is for a bigger project really, but Lynn, who is here with me today, does this. We will go on vacation, or holiday if we're in the UK. We will go on holiday, and Lynn takes lots and lots of photos, lots of pictures, and she will create a book. There are places where you can send photos and they turn it into a book of memories. Next week, we as a family, we head out to England for 2 weeks, and she'll be doing the same. She'll be taking lots of pictures, lots of photographs of the things we're doing, friends, family, and that kind of stuff. And I guess, Lynn, you'll be turning that into a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last year I took 1,400 plus photos in a couple weeks, and you can go onto CVS or Walgreens.com. You don't have to leave your house. You can upload your photos directly to their website, and you can have them arrange the photos automatically and print your book out, and they'll even mail it to you. You don't even have to go to the store. And if you're like me and like a bargain, they are always on sale. There's always something on sale. So I wait till it goes on sale, and then I order this big, beautiful book that you have forever, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and you can revisit those memories at any time you choose, can't you?
And you can make 2 copies of the same book. You can order 1 copy to keep for yourself and 1 to give to your parent or loved one or grandparent, whoever that is, so they can have their own copy, so everybody can share in it whenever they want.
Good stuff. The other idea is to keep a scrapbook. So, you know, I guess people know what a scrapbook is. So you just take pictures and then you print it out and you put it in there. You put it in that scrapbook and write about any memories or any special thing that you want to put in there, special memory, special event, special occasion. For example, you go to a 50th wedding anniversary of your family or friends, and you just write that there. Dave and Jean's 50th wedding anniversary, whatever month and year that was. So it's always about having things that you can revisit. Visuals, it has to be a visual. There has to be visuals there so that the person can see themselves and also see what event it was. And then it's also a topic of conversation. So when we're looking at somebody who experiences sundowning, for example, and we know that those symptoms start at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m, then half an hour before we can make a cup of tea, obviously a cup of tea because I'm a Brit. So we'd make a cup of tea, we'd sit down with this book or these the videos or whatever it is we're going to use and play it, show it, discuss it, talk about it, memory jog it, and I'm sure there are many other ideas that you have as viewers of this channel that you have used and have experience of. And if that's the case, please post it on the channel so that other people can see that and use that as a process for them as well. Lynn?
I was going to point out, one of your longtime patients, their family utilizes electronic picture frames where you take your photos and put them on a USB drive, a thumb drive, and you put it in the back of the picture frame. It's plugged in and it does a slideshow of those photos, and it's on all the time. And it's a great way to bring up conversations and memories.
Yeah, we have a few patients with those. Yeah, that's very good. Any others?
Well, and I was saying, you know, my family, we have a bunch of actual photo albums, physical photo albums that people don't take the time to do anymore. So if you go visit your loved one and they're from a generation that has photo albums, ask them if they have any. And maybe they're not sure if they do, and you can look around and I'm sure you'll find some. And that's another great way to bring out those photo albums. You're going to give them a lot of reasons to give you information that maybe you didn't even have. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, and some people are featured in books as well. I just thinking that a patient of mine who is featured in a book. So there's a whole page with his photo in that book. And so that's another really important thing that you can use and you can do, because if your husband or wife or mum or dad or son or daughter have done something where they are in a book like that, that's always something good to revisit and remember and talk about. And all these things are good memory joggers. They're good things to build a conversation around. So,
and also to interview your loved ones with your phone, with your iPad, with their phone, their iPad. Ask them questions, and maybe they don't have all the details. Maybe some of it isn't accurate, but it's still a recording that you'll cherish, that you can look back on, you know, and ask those, you know, the questions that you have now that you can ask them.
Yeah.
And ask about their life story and ask what it was like when they went to school and their family life. You'll be surprised what you learn.
Yeah, there's also some technology out there. Now, I'm not great on technology, but I have seen some technology out there where they can take the photograph and put the voice to it. So the photograph is actually talking. So for people whose mum or dad has passed and you have photos of them, you can actually use that system to have the voice put on there. I don't know how they do it because I know nothing about technology. I've seen it somewhere. So out there on social media, I've seen it happening. So today there are so many different ways of being able to do that. Whereas when I was a kid, there was a camera.
Yeah.
That was it.
Also, if you make a recording of someone speaking, it can get transcribed
Right.
into print, and then you
Right.
can save it electronically and share that with the other loved ones in
Yeah.
the family. I wanted to bring up I don't remember the medical term, but what is it when someone remembers a memory falsely?
It's a false memory.
But isn't there another term?
It's a false memory.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So if they say, you know, I fought in World War II and they're wrong, but they think they did, you're just going to go with it. Maybe it was really Vietnam or something like that, but don't be surprised if some of the memories aren't exactly accurate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
Because it's real to them. Like we talk about validating where that person is, meeting them where they are at in their journey at that moment in time, which of course changes and fluctuates. And especially if you have Lewy body dementia, you know, that can fluctuate from day to day, or sometimes even from hour to hour. So always meet the person where they are. That's so important. Validate their belief system. So there's a 96-year-old lady and she says, when is my mum coming to visit me? What am I going to say? I'm not going to say, well, look, you're 96, so the chances are your mum's dead. Not going to say that, am I? Because what would that do? You know, that would be the first time that lady has heard that message. What? So that would be negative. That would be a very negative thing to say. Instead, I will say, oh, what's your mum's name? Dorothy. Dorothy? My mum's called Dorothy as well. That's interesting. What kind of things do you do when you get together? Oh, we like to go shopping. We like to go to the cinema. Cinema? What do you like to see at the cinema? Oh, we love watching James Bond movies. James Bond? I'm a massive James Bond fan. Now, just for the record, guys, I'm not. But I'm a massive James Bond fan. So, do you want to watch a James Bond movie with me? Oh yeah, let's do that. So what I've done there is validated her experience, her belief system, and her moment. I validated it, and I've been able to gently move her away to watch a movie. Because what we always have to do is look behind the message, look behind the meaning. So when somebody says, I want my mum, what are they saying? They're saying, I feel anxious, I don't feel safe, I need some security, I need looking after. The same with people who are living in a care centre. When am I going home? What does home mean to you? You know, we say in my country, we say the home is an Englishman's castle. So that's where we can go home, close the door to the world, and do our thing. Strip naked, run around, making all kinds of different sounds if that's what we want to do. Because it's our place, it's our space, and we can do whatever we want. Me, I'll go in, make a cup of tea, get a bar of chocolate. Dark chocolate, mind, 79% plus. That's better for you. Don't be eating milk chocolate. None of that. Dark chocolate only. And that's what I'll do. I'll sit down and have some chocolate and a cup of tea. So that's where people feel safe. That's where they feel secure. So always look behind the meaning. If somebody's looking anxious and looking afraid, look behind that meaning, validate, support, guide, and then bring into a different kind of reality. Okay?
I looked up that term I was talking about, confabulation.
Oh, confabulation. Well, that's a different thing than the false memory, but yes. Confabulation is a common symptom of people living with dementia. Yeah.
Yeah, it says they create new memories of things that never happened.
Right. And it's more about maybe what did happen, but it's not full. So our brain, in a normal brain, we relate a story, but the brain only remembers a certain percentage of that story. So when we are recreating that story, when we're reliving it, telling somebody else, the brain fills in bits that we didn't keep. The brain fills it in. So everybody that relates a story is confabulating, because the brain does not retain the whole story, the whole information. It fills it in. So therefore, with people who are living with dementia, who have less cognitive resources than a healthy brain, will fill in even more. So some of it could be true, some of it not, but we never know which is which.
Or it could be about someone else.
It could be about someone else, exactly.
They could say I was a pirate.
Right, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're not going to argue about it.
Exactly.
Right.
It's just validation. It's about validation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking at old pictures and photos, it might be common for someone older with dementia to not recognize their own self in photos.
Yes.
And that's okay.
That can
And
happen.
how do you deal with that, you know?
Yeah, that can happen. Just go with where the person is going with that.
Don't correct them.
Correct them. Don't say, well, that's you. Because if they don't recognize that as you, then it's not.
If they ask you, tell them. But
Yeah. There's a very old training video from the University of Stirling when I was there. Lady in Red. See, it's normal. We all forget stuff. But it is about a lady who doesn't recognize herself. She sees herself as a very young lady, and she's being chased by this guy, and she ends up being taken to a hospital because she's fallen and that kind of stuff. And she sees herself in a mirror for the first time, and she sees this old lady, and it's very impactful for her to see that. If you can, I'll post the title of that video, and you may still be able to get it. I've got it somewhere on a CD from my research days, so I will post the name of it, and if you can get it and watch it, it's very impactful. The guy that was chasing her was her husband. She had come from somewhere, she got out of the house or something, and she'd started to run through the woods because she had this belief system that she was only a young lady. So, and he found her, took her back to the house. He didn't know how to cope with her, so he locked her in the bedroom, and to escape this guy who she didn't know, she didn't recognize as her husband, she jumped through the window and fell down to the ground, and that's how she ended up in hospital. So I will post the title of that, unless you can remember what it's called in.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, very interesting. Good point, that. What I have seen sometimes is where people cover the mirror with a towel, especially at night time. It's a nighttime thing. Cover the mirror in the bedroom or the bathroom with a towel, and that will stop people from looking in it and having a massive meltdown because there's a stranger there that they don't recognise. Yeah. Anything else, Lynn?
Intergenerational engagement.
Right. Intergenerational engagement. That is a really crucial thing. A number of years ago, we started doing this in the UK, bringing children into the home of a nursing home or a memory care community. And the response from people living with dementia was unbelievable. They're so engaging. And so some projects were run where older people and younger people develop friendships and be able to talk about, their childhoods. The older guy when he was a child, the younger guy when, as a child now, what is the difference? How does it work? And surprisingly, the older guys, when they were kids, experience the same thing as this guy's experiencing now as a kid. The intergenerational work is fabulous, and it does make a big difference. So a few weeks ago, I did a video on doll therapy, but that would come second to children, to actual children, working alongside and engaging and interacting with older people. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Lynn, because very important.
Yeah.
And there's a thing, and because we're talking here about recording memories, that is really important, because that interaction and that engagement is crucial to the well-being of somebody living with dementia. So if that can be recorded,
create memories
documented,
together. Yeah,
absolutely, create memory. There's a good title for that: creating memories together, or sharing memories together, which is really, really important.
and it benefits the person living with dementia, and it equally benefits the child, because those children are going to grow up one day and they're going to have experience and awareness of what it's like to be around someone who has dementia, and maybe they'll have more kindness, more empathy. Maybe they'll have good memories of their grandparents, great grandparents,
And
understanding
where somebody is when they do have a cognitive change. Yeah, absolutely.
So create a gentler generation of people.
And it's all about education, isn't it? We want to educate people about dementia. We want to give them the correct, accurate information. And what better education than being involved with the lived experience. The lived experience of somebody with dementia. Being part of that is the best education you can get, isn't it? It's better than reading it in a book. It's better than listening to somebody talk about it. It's the best way to do it it's like learning on the job kind of thing,
Right.
And we hear that children have no respect for older people anymore. Well, that can change. That does change through intergenerational work. Absolutely. That's a big topic. I think we should do a video on that at some point, because it is a very important part of living well with a cognitive change.
And it goes to not isolating the person with dementia and keeping them away from children. You'd be surprised what children can understand, and how they can help each other in so many ways that you may not be able to see. And it also teaches the children how important it is to create memories and why you should document things, and they might go on to do that in their lives. So it's just a win for everyone.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Lynn. Thanks for listening to that. Thank you for listening to this video. Please remember to share this YouTube channel with everybody you know. We want to educate people on a global basis. So share this YouTube channel, tell them to subscribe, and let's drive up the amount of people that are being educated in terms of dementia. And it's accurate, up-to-date information, not relying on Dr. Google. So, everybody, have a fantastic rest of the day, have an amazing week, and remember, say it with me, dump the soda.